One time, we successfully mated a bulldog with a Shih Tzu.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah, we called it a bullshit.
Okay, is this guy just making it up as he goes? Yep. Is it all BS? Yep. Here's Big Nate with some more BS, because it's BSing with Big Nate.
That was Seven Stone Riot with Manipulation, and that means it's time for another edition of BS and with Big Nate. I am joined today by Whit.
How's it going?
He's kind of the voice, if you will, of Seven Stone Riot, and thrilled to be joined by him today. Whit, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And I want to start obviously with that track. So when I listen to it, I pick up a lot of different things. There's kind of like an Alice in Chains harmony thing going on. There's kind of a little live circa V Secret Somdi thing going on. How do you discover you can like hit those notes and kind of put that on tape, as it were?
I mean, it's pretty much just kind of going for it. Because, I mean, I've taken some lessons just kind of like on the internet and stuff, but it's just kind of feel and going for it pretty much.
Holy hell. I love that answer. Cause I mean, the notes you hit, the way you sing it does seem like you've definitely had a lot of training. Like you've worked at this. How long have you been singing?
I probably really started singing when I was about 20 years old. Because when I was 18, I got my first guitar and I started playing and I was like, dang, I really like this. So then I started playing at like coffee shops and stuff like that. And that's when I really started digging into the whole, let's see how I can sing pretty much.
No, I mean, I think you do a fantastic job. I'm really a big fan of Manipulation. I kind of explored from there, and you guys have quite a bit out on Spotify that I've just kind of been rolling through and listening. I can't say I've been terribly attentive and like I can name track names, but there's just kind of this well produced, and I mean, you can't pinpoint like a single influence. You can't pinpoint a single time that you're like, hey, let's grab from here, let's grab from there. It's very truly a Seven Stone Riot sound. Right. So I want to ask firstly, how did Seven Stone Riot come together?
Well, me and my two brothers are in the band, and it kind of started where, like I was talking about earlier, about how we got our guitars, and I started playing coffee shops. My brother Tyler, he was playing bass, and so he would play with me at those shows. And then Reed, our other guitar player, me and him, we played baseball together back in high school, but we really didn't really know that music was a part of our lives back then. So it was something that never really came up. And he saw a video of a show that I played at a coffee shop. So he sent me a message and was like, hey, do you want to come over and jam sometime? So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And from there, it's just kind of been, let's try to make this band thing work.
So those early jam sessions, obviously you're not all coming up with original material initially. Right. So what were you guys playing in those days?
We were doing covers pretty much like here in Alabama, the big thing is like 80s cover bands and stuff like that. But we were kind of different. We did the whole 90s rock and 2000s rock. So that's pretty much what we were playing during that time.
All right. Now, I'm going to sidestep because you're the first person I've had bring this up. And baseball is important to me. It's our national pastime. What position did you play?
I was a pitcher. I was a left-handed pitcher.
That's a hell of an asset. How many pitches did you have in your arsenal?
I threw a fastball, curveball, changeup. Time to time, I tried to throw a slider, but never knew where that thing was going.
Really only need 4, and the slider's just there to kind of freak the batter out.
Oh, yeah.
What was your peak fastball speed?
I think my fastest I hit was 90.
Hell.
Yeah.
Better than me. Sorry, I always pick that out. Baseball is like very. Yeah. Who's your team?
I'm a big Braves fan.
So, why are you a Braves fan? I'm not questioning your decision. I have a theory here.
Okay, well, it's just because it's the closest to Birmingham, and just ever since I was probably 6 or 7 years old, I always just followed the Braves.
We ran into the same thing out here in Southwest Virginia. The Atlanta Braves, of course, they had the TV deal with TBS, and that was the team that was on TV. So like, there's a lot of Braves fans out here. So I wanted to confirm my theory, and you did.
Yeah.
That's enough baseball talk. I'm sorry, I just really had to indulge myself there, but I do want to talk about what 2020 has been like for Seven Stone Riot.
Yeah, it's pretty much we've just been writing the whole time because we can't play shows. We played 2 shows a couple of weeks ago. That was real nice to actually get out there and do that. We played at some place in Mississippi called Muddy Waters. That's fun. They have a big outdoor stage, and it's always fun when we play there. And then a place in Huntsville, Alabama called Shag Nasty's. That's real fun too. And pretty much besides those two shows, we've just been writing and trying to figure out what we're going to do next year, because hopefully shows will come back next year.
Something I've been considering and talking about a lot is this is kind of the year to rebuild, renovate. Like,
Right.
for instance, if you have a restaurant, you know,
Mhm.
not a lot of people coming in, you renovate. So I feel like writing is kind of the best usage of your time. So I mean, I think you guys made the right choice. I do want to ask what's next. Of course, Manipulation out now, and what's on
Right now we have about 5 or 6 songs that we're working on right now, and I think our plan is to just kind of release singles with a video, because that seems to be with just the right direction to go, because that's what people kind of latch onto, is just the singles, instead of releasing a big EP or a big album or something like that, and then having like 2 or 3 songs on it that people like, so they end up just listening to those songs. So why not just come out with the songs that you feel would be singles?
I think that's kind of where we're shifting back towards with music.
Yeah.
You brought up videos there. There is a video for Manipulation, and before we go any further on that, I do want to ask, was that filmed during COVID?
It was.
Okay, you guys, there's this theory I have that years down the line, we're going to be able to look at videos and say, hey, that was filmed during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have actually achieved something here where it doesn't stand out as a COVID video. And I mean, hell, that's something with this year. I think there's a lot of production value there. I think nothing was shortchanged. What was that like, shooting and navigating kind of that landscape during all of this?
It wasn't too bad. We actually shot that video at a wedding venue to kind of give it that old classical kind of feel to it, because the idea we had of it was kind of like a Phantom of the Opera style feel to it, and it was pretty easy finding one, because I mean the wedding venue was way out in the country, somewhere in Alabama, so it wasn't like a lot of people were going to be there. So it was pretty much just us and then the actor and then the guy that shot it. So it was pretty easy.
How do you go about, like, did you contact the wedding venue and be like, hey, look, I'm not getting married, but I got an idea? Like, what was that negotiation process like?
Well, the guy that directed the video, he was the one that did all that. But I mean, he pretty much just said that, hey, I got this idea about doing a video. Would y'all mind if we came up there and did that? And they were all for it. So it was pretty nice. Not having to kind of really negotiate anything.
I mean, that's exciting to have it work out that way. Of course, Manipulation out now, 7 Stone Riot, kicking some ass. I before we leave, I think it's important. I think it's the whole reason we're here. Where can they find 7 Stone Riot online?
Anywhere, just Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're streaming on all major music outlets. Just anywhere music's sold. You can go to our website at 7stoneriot.com and you can find everything there.
Excellent. We're looking forward to more from 7 Stone Riot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and give yourself a good day.
You too. Thanks for having me.